now it's time to look at what's taking up press in the French papers. Diptyque Laurent is with me in studio. Diptyque, let's start with this ongoing strike at French prisons.
Well, we reported on this last week as well. It's been a week of unrest in the French prison system, and this Monday, prison guards have vowed to continue striking. It comes after days of tensions stemming from the assault of several prison guards at the hands of inmates. That's gotten the profession really very angry right now. Prison guard unions have said they'll continue their strike as long as the government offers up, quote, small solutions. They want guaranteed security for all their employees. La Croix, the French Catholic paper, talks about a, quote, perpetually sick prison system in France. Now, the paper describes the profession that's, quote, fed up with being the target of daily violence. And one of the root causes of all this insecurity is overpopulation.
It has even actually prompted a stern warning from the UN.
That's right. And it's not the first one either, Eve. Last week, the UN Human Rights Council actually reprimanded France for the way that it manages the prison system. And this is not the first warning France has received, especially evoking that worry about overpopulation in French prison systems. La Croix reminds us that occupation rates have hit 200% in some detention centers, notably in the Paris region. And while some alternatives have been developed in recent years, France still privileges prison when it comes to sentencing convicts.
They should get in contact with the Netherlands, because I know that they don't have enough prisoners to fill their prisons. However, also making the news today, Diptyque, is French President Emmanuel Macron is meeting with some 140 foreign business leaders. A very clear message to them.
Choisir la France, choose France. That's his message. I think that's the name of the summit as well. For the front page of Le Figaro's business section, Macron's on a, quote, seduction mission. He's meeting with foreign entrepreneurs today in Versailles with the aim of luring business back to France. He's, of course, trying to take advantage of uncertainty around Brexit and also German political instability. The business paper Les Echos notes that Macron has already loosened up some of the labor laws and added some fiscal advantages, all this in the hopes of sweetening deals and luring foreign business, much needed foreign business, into France. The paper really hails this initiative, saying it's not just a PR move, it's also proof that, quote, the attractiveness of France is once again on the rise. Macron, the paper says, is not just trying to change the image of France, he's giving pride back to the French people, pride about their country and their economy.
Not all papers take such a rosy view of things, however. The Huffington Post is a little less doe-eyed about this summit.
That's right, a little less doe-eyed. The Huffington Post says that the French people really believe, they'll only really believe in Macron's initiative when they begin to see results, i.e. when the money starts rolling in. In the meantime, the website says welcoming all these foreign leaders in the gilded palace of Versailles, including heads of banks like Goldman Sachs, the very symbol of the global financial crisis, well, that might not go down so well with Macron's critics. It won't help him in any case shed his image as a president of the rich.
Meanwhile, Libération is looking at the MeToo movement, which really hasn't quietened down at all since it got started. But they are pointing out that there's one element that seems to have disappeared off the papers.
That's right. The Harvey Weinstein allegations certainly spurred a whole discussion around sexual assault, sexual harassment, the treatment of women. But what happened to Harvey Weinstein? Will justice be served to the, quote, good old pig? That's what Libé wonders in this article. It's been over 4 months since Harvey Weinstein's allegations were unleashed a whole host of sexual assault claims against producers, actors, singers, and so forth. Despite the numerous accusations, he's not in prison. And as far as we know, he hasn't even been heard by the police. So what's going on with his case? Libé notes that some cases may have been settled by hush money, as is often the case, for instance, with Dominique Strauss-Kahn in 2011. In that case, the hush money was settled by his lawyer, Benjamin Braffman, who, Libé notes, is also the lawyer of Harvey Weinstein. Now, on a more upbeat note, the paper does look at it gives us a wave graph, as you see here. That wave graph is the widespread influence of the MeToo movement and all the information and activism it sparked. A graph that shows, I quote, no one can say they've been spared by the wave of sexual assault allegations.
OK, I guess we'll be hearing more, undoubtedly, in the days and weeks and even months to come. But finally, from Diptyque, one French paper is reporting that adolescence doesn't end as early as we may have expected. In fact, it doesn't end until the age of 24.
I think for some parents that might be never ending. The magazine L'Express, a French magazine, reports these findings from a British journal called The Lancet and Adolescent Health. Now, according to researchers, puberty begins earlier. It begins around the age of 10, and adolescence ends around 24. So totally shattering the myth that adolescence is between the ages of 13 and 19. Now, apparently a number of factors have contributed to this. Firstly, a better standard of living, people choosing to have children later in life, which could be a contributing factor, and young people choosing to essentially prolong finding work by continuing their studies. These could be factors for why adolescence officially begins at 24. Researchers noted that while people can vote from the age of 18, your brain doesn't fully form until about the age of 20, and some people don't even get wisdom teeth until the age of 25. All this to say, if you're 23 and you haven't got your life together, well, don't fret. You're perfectly within at least scientific expectations.
And what if you're in your 30s, Diptyka?
Well, I think, yeah.
There's no hope for us. Okay.
There's no hope. There's no excuse.
Okay, Diptyka Laurent with the French papers. Thanks indeed.